next it's time to switch our attention to our upcoming Fireside chat, which will be on email marketing in 2022, customer-centric campaigns, market trends, and what is next. Professionals frequently discuss how email marketing has lost its relevance in the constantly evolving marketing field. To be honest with you, I just have to go to my junk folder because everything ends up in there. Nevertheless, it continues to persist, especially in light of the yearly introduction of new trends. Email marketers can get an advantage over rivals by anticipating changes in consumer preferences, which is why this conversation is going to help us learn more about what's coming up in this field. And I would like to welcome up to the stage our first speaker, Leela Shankar, Adhimulam. She is an international growth hacker and marketing expert. I'm so sorry, Leela. Sorry, apologies. Hello, how are you? You're an international growth hacker and marketing expert. And Ajay, CEO of upcoach.ai, CEO and founder of upcoach.ai. Gentlemen, welcome to the stage, and I'm going to let you carry on with this fireside chat. Interesting to see what you're coming up with in email trends and marketing trends.
Hello everyone. So I am Ajay and I am the founder of UpCoach. I run a digital marketing agency exclusively for coaches who are into coaching industry. And today we will be discussing about what are the trends of email marketing in 2023.
Hi guys, I'm Leela Shankar. I'm an international growth hacker. For those of you people who don't know what growth hacking is, it's marketing on steroids with the help of technology and psychology tricks, right? So the room is pretty empty right now, and I'm really sad for other people who are actually missing, because this session I'll be actually giving you the most actionable steps so that you can directly apply right now. So just to give you a context for you guys, so that you guys don't go back to looking at your phones and other thing. Right. I'm going to reveal all the tactics and all the frameworks which I personally use for emails that actually can skyrocket your open rates and CTRs. Just to give an example in terms of actual result, there's a US client of mine. His name is Steve, and he was getting around 12% open rate and 2% click-through rate in his emails. And it's a medical company, he can't actually change the email copy. So he just came to me and he asked me how to improve it, because it's a promotional email. So I just work around on the technical stack and a few optimizations, and from 12% open rate, we actually got him 58% open rate, and from 2% CTR, it went to 27% CTR without even changing the email content, right? So if you want these kind of results, stay here and listen to the entire session, or else it's you guys, Anyway, so let me start with the first question. Is email marketing relevant in 2023?
I think, of course, it is relevant. Why? Because whenever you are marketing on any social media platforms, let's say it's Facebook, YouTube, Google, you don't own the platform. We have been running ads for many of our clients, and sometimes we get ad account bans. Sometimes their even pages are banned. So let's say you have a grown up page and then you just lose the page. But when you have the email, you have that lead every time. So email marketing is most important aspect when it comes to marketing, because once you have that person data into your funnel, you can just keep on selling them and make them buy again and again. So I think email marketing is one of the most important aspect when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. You might have 1 million followers on Instagram or Facebook or on LinkedIn, but at the end of the day, those are LinkedIn's audience, those are Instagram's audience, right? They're not your audience. And obviously, there's a saying that goes around, right? For every single person in your email list, you'll make actually $1 at least in the long term, right? That's how the catchphrase is. So email marketing is the most important one. You might think that it's only relevant for B2B and not B2C, but at the end of the day, if you remember, right, if you want to sign up for any platform, if you want to sign up on Facebook, you need an email ID. If you want to sign up for Google, you want an email. If you want to sign up for other services of Google, you need Gmail and everything else, right? So email ID is compulsory in this day and age, and obviously email marketing will actually still work, because I'm actually using email marketing and generating more leads in terms of B2B, or generating more customers in terms of B2C companies, right? So going to my second question. So what do you think are the types of email marketing we have?
So basically, there are two type of email marketing that we often do. Like, one is cold email marketing, where we send people relevant offers according to the niche they are operating in. And second is like warm email marketing, basis what they are like into our funnel, and then basis we personalize our emails and send them offers according to that are relevant to them. So these are the two aspects of email marketing that we often do.
Exactly. So we have two types of email marketing: cold email marketing, where the audience is cold. So the audience or the person who's actually receiving your email doesn't know that you're actually sending an email, right? And also there's normal marketing where you're actually sending it to your opt-in customers, opt-in or double opt-in customers who actually signed up to maybe download your lead magnet, or they're your customers signed up on your platform or something like that. But the problem over here is that if you're sending cold emails out there, right? The person doesn't know that they're actually getting an email, and since it's a promotional email, they consider it as spam, and you barely get more than 10% open rate or 2% CTR or anything else. And again, give you a small result over here. I did B2B cold email lead gen for a client last year. It's a complete B2B SaaS with an average ticket size of $5,000. And my open rates were around 80% and CTRs are 30% for Calendly booking links, right? So it doesn't matter whether email, it's a cold email or normal emails. You have to follow a particular framework and how to actually get people to actually open and interact with the emails. So most people say that cold emails you won't get proper open rates. Excuse me. And normal emails, promotion email, you'll get more open rates. It doesn't matter. It all depends on how and what you actually use and how you send emails, right?
So basically, I want to ask what you think about a subject line when it comes to email marketing. What is the importance of a subject line and how it impact your whole email marketing campaign? And also, what are the steps that we can use to optimize our email campaigns to get more better open rates as well as more CTR?
Awesome. So now we are actually going into the juicy details, right? Subject line. The first thing is that everyone thinks we have to use personalization in subject line, right? First name, hi, your first name, here is the biggest offer of the year or something like that. But the sad part is we only stop there in terms of personalization, in terms of subject line. There are actually tools out there where you can actually visualize whether how does the subject line look, how much of the subject line will look on the mobile device, whether it's using an Android phone or an iPhone and everything else. Because the thing over here is that your subject line can be long, it can be a pretty kick-ass subject line, but at the end of the day, if the person is not able to read the entire subject line, so what's in it for them? So you have to, I'm not saying you have to have only shorter subject lines. I'm not saying you have to have longer subject lines. Whatever subject lines you have, right? There are tools out there where you can actually go out and Google and say subject line visualizer, where most of the people check their emails in mobile phones right now. They don't actually go on desktop unless and until they're a core business owner, unless they're entrepreneurs and stuff. Most of our employees also use their phones for communications and everything else. So you have to use these tools called subject line visualizers, where you can actually go ahead and type in your subject line in the website. It will show you how exactly it will look on a mobile phone, an Android Gmail app, and an iOS Gmail app, and you have to optimize for that. And apart from that, if you have the subject line for yourself, you won't actually get more open rates. I might have 100% sale going on, but if I say the biggest launch offer of the year, no one is going to actually open the email. Instead of that, you have to have the subject line for the customer. Like again, in terms of cold prospecting or in terms of other prospects, right? I'm giving away one of my best performing subject lines. You can note it down. My best subject line is, hi, first name, is this you? Simple. Just imagine, right? My name is Leela. If I'm getting a subject line or an email saying that Leela, is this you, or is this comma Leela, or the first name, so I'll be interested. Who is this person who's trying to contact? If you're trying to actually do B2B cold emailing, right? You can use this subject line because they will open it up, and also because it also shows that you're kind of unsure and you want to contact that other person. So that person will be more interested to open the email rather than, I can just say, Leela, he's the best offer. Leela, we actually skyrocket your business. These are all marketing and salesy things. And apart from that, the other most famous subject line is that first line, first name, quick question, right? It's a pretty famous if you're into B2B cold emailing, right? It's kind of overused right now, but my two best sellers are best first name, is this your first name, and first name, nice to meet you. The person is like, who's this person sending me that nice to meet you? So if they actually open the email, I'll be like, I actually came across your LinkedIn profile. It's pretty impressive. I thought of reaching out directly. That's my first line of interaction, where it actually creates some kind of context. So you have to actually keep in mind that the subject line should make relevance. You don't do clickbaity subject lines. And also, once you open the subject line, it has to be some common relevant line that actually attaches the email to that particular subject line. And apart from that, we also have something called as spam words, right? There are a particular few words, if we overuse them either in subject lines or either in other in the body of the spam detectors will actually trigger and the email might end up in spam. So these are known as spammable words or spam free words. You can actually go to tools like auto close spam checker or other spam checkers and actually input your subject line or email content itself, and it will highlight a few spammy words. And I suggest you to actually reduce the spam words and only use uh, synonyms of the spam words, or use the spam words as less as possible. I mean, free is a spam word, right? But that doesn't mean just because you have one word of free in the email, you'll go to spam. But if you have the same word 10 times, then it might end up in spam. So there are a few things you have to actually take care. And apart from subject line, if you're actually sending email to your opt-in customers using MailChimp or SendGrid, other things, there's something called as pre-header, right? A pre-header is nothing but that will come below the subject line. So you have to focus more on the pre-header rather than rather than the subject line in terms of you're sending your emails to actually your opt-in list, right? So I don't know how many people know this. If you actually get an email, right, next time a professional email from LinkedIn or someone else, you'll have a subject line and below you'll be having a small line. But if you open the email, that line is not visible in the email because that's the pre-header of the email. So you have to optimize your thing again with the pre-header and subject line in mind. So let's say you can't fit the entire subject line because of the restrictions of the mobile phone. You can have half of the subject line and the continuation as a pre-header so that it makes sense to the person who actually reads it. And also on this topic, if you're sending emails, right, make sure the email has an image. Right, if I'm sending you an email, my name is Leela, but it doesn't have any image, that's the first red flag for me. Why would I even open an email, especially if it's cold email? Even though if you're sending it from a business, most businesses doesn't have proper email, proper images. And if and business who have images have their own logo. But at the end of the day, instead of you sending an email from your business name, it's way better if you can send emails from your own name. Maybe an email from on the name of the CEO, email from the name of the CTO, or whatever the C-suite executives are. You need to have their personal picture and their name instead of the company logo and a company name, unless it's a transactional email like an OTP or something like that. So if you optimize for these things, right, it looks like a real person is emailing me with the proper and the relevant stuff that I want to. So it's all about the customers because we want the customers to open the emails, not about me. So these are the tools. You can go to autoclose email, autoclose spam checker to actually check whether your emails are having or subject lines are having spam words. And the best top performing subject lines are ACSU first name or first name nice to meet you or first name quick question. These are top performing for me. And apart from that, you can go to Google and search subject line visualizers and actually optimize your subject lines for Android and iPhone Gmail apps and Outlook apps.
So I will tell you a very cool case study of email marketing. So basically, this year my company have sold courses worth 20 million USD, and we have worked with some of the biggest names in coaching industry. So I had a client and she was selling a ebook just for 4.99, and we were selling the ebook. Let's say we were getting 100, 200 sales every day. So it was our introductory offer just for 4.99 because we want our client to get introduced to audience and we want as much as people to join her email list. And when we were doing this, she had her the signature program was for 5000 USD. And but sometimes people think that if someone has bought 4.99 ebook, they may not end up buying 5000 product or 6000 product because there is a big difference. But when you do the things in volume, like if you are selling something for 4.99, you will get more people to get into your list, and the more people you have into your list, the more likely you are to make money. So when we analyze our data for the whole year, she made over more than alone 3 million from the people who bought her ebook just for 4.99. So this is the power of email marketing. Once the people are into your funnel and you are sending them personalized email basis what are their pain points, you are like connecting to them at a personal level, they will end up buying. Not everyone will end up buying, but even if you convert 30%, 20% of people for 5,000 offer, this is a great marketing chunk.
Awesome, man. That's pretty great results. So, in terms of email copy and email length, what do you think is the best?
I think like as far as I have seen, for me, short emails works better because no one is going to read a 2,000 words email. It's better to send them short and sweet email, just directly to the point, and it works better for me.
Awesome, man. And again, it also depends on the context where we actually send out emails. Whether you want a four-liner email or a 4,000 words email, it all depends on the kind of email you're actually sending and whether it's an opt-in email or a cold email. In terms of cold outreach, if you're doing B2B cold outreach using emails, the shorter the best. My best performing cold emails were only 4 lines long, right? Still to this date, it's only 4 lines long, and also at the same time, it's actually relevant to them. I'll be like, hey, I just found you on LinkedIn, and I thought of reaching out directly because your profile is impressive. Are you interested in this? Because we're actually doing this. If you're interested, you can just reply, or else you won't. Right? So this is the best four liners you can actually use for your own B2B marketing, and you can actually expect results over here. And in terms of emails for opt-in customers, right? And again, the two kind of emails. Inside email, you can actually have a text-based email or an HTML email. HTML email is the email that we'll actually receive from e-com stores and from other places where there's a lot of images, there's a lot of text in the email, and it looks like a small web page, right? You can use that, but at the same time, what happens is that the more HTML your email has, the more probability that it will go to personalized folder or spam folder. Because at the end of the day, AI is getting better and better, and these emails are easily categorized into personal emails or personalized emails, or spam emails or promotions emails or update emails. So you are creating only one email, but Google is automatically creating you four or five different inboxes for you. There's a primary inbox, there's a promotions inbox, there's a spam inbox, there's an update inbox, right? So you have to make sure that you have to land in at least the primary or promotional inbox. The more number of links, the more number of URLs you have in your email, the more number of images, the more number of HTML code you have in the emails, the more chances of it to land in the promotional inbox, right? And if you have less number of text and less number of links at least, then it can actually lead into landing in primary inbox. Because at the end of the day, it's pretty simple logic, right? An email before showing it to the customer is read by an AI, and if that AI detects a lot of URLs and that too to different platforms, then it will think it's a promotional inbox, right? Promotional email. So I'll give you a very small example, right? We all actually have our own email signatures, right? It's like Leela, Shankar, follow me on, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. The email might not have 10 different URLs, but my signature only has 3 different URLs. My email is coming from leelashankar.com. That's the domain from which my email is going out. But let's say I send it to Ajay over here, right? But in Ajay's AI, Ajay's Gmail AI will go through my email saying that, wait a second, the email is from leelashankar.com, but the email has 3 links to 3 different websites. It has a Instagram.com link, it has LinkedIn.com link, it has Twitter.com links. So this might be a promotional email. Then it'll go to promotion inbox, and you know how often you check your promotion inboxes. So if you want your email to actually land in the primary inbox, I don't need any signature, right? If I want Ajay to follow me on Instagram, I'll just write it on my email itself. Hey, do you mind following me on Instagram or something like that, right? So just because you're using a signature as well, the deliverability of your email will impact a lot. Do you want your prospects to follow you on Instagram, or do you want to get business from them? You have to have priorities, right? So I don't need followers, I need money.
Exactly.
I think everyone needs money first and then followers second, maybe, right? So that's the thing. It all depends on what exactly you put in your emails and everything else.
So, what do you think of dark mode when it comes to email marketing? Because many of the people must be doing email marketing, but I'm not sure how many of you have dark mode enabled in your email marketing. Do you guys, any of one of, what do you think?
Exactly. See, the thing is that the emails that you saw were normal emails with white text, but your phone tried to make it dark mode. That's where it broke it. But you are a technically aware customer, that's why you know the fact. If I'm a newbie, I'll be like, why the hell is company send me a broken email? So it directly affects my branding and credibility, right? So as Ajay said, right, if you're actually using any HTML in your email, make sure it's actually optimized for dark mode as well, right? It has a proper black background and that kind of fonts and everything with your designer before it actually rolls out. You can directly send all your emails in dark mode itself, because a person can look at an email in white mode, but if the dark mode is actually breaking, it doesn't make any sense. But if you send an email from dark mode from yours end only, the person doesn't mind because the email doesn't break it his hand.
Exactly. What do you think of role of AI when it comes to email marketing in 2023? Like, what are the trends and how we can utilize AI in making our email marketing more better, get more better engagement, get more better open rates, clicks?
Yeah. So the role of AI is increasing in every aspect of our lives, right? Especially in email marketing. Because again, it's really closely related to personalization of emails as well. If you actually think of AI, right, in terms of AI is working both in favor and against of us. Because if you see Gmail and Outlook and all these email service providers, right? Their AI is getting smarter and smarter to detect which is a spam email or promotional email and everything else. So you have to always, it's a catch and mouse game. They will detect something else and will come up with a new thing where, our email will land in the primary inbox and everything else. But on the other side, the best way to actually use AI in email marketing is to actually use personalization. Right, of course, we have a question on personalization, but I would like to also answer it over here, saying that traditionally what happens is that, especially if you're doing B2C or B2B, the email is one for everyone. The only variables that are available for you is like first name, last name, company name.
That's it.
How many times will you use that?
Yeah.
First name, how are you? How are you, first name?
Exactly.
Right. But using AI right now, what you can do is that there's something called as an image personalization. This text personalization, which is first name, last name, company name, location, whatever you want, whatever is there on the Excel sheet. Or else there's an image personalization as well, where I can send a standard image. Let's say I'm just holding a play card saying that hello is written on the play card, and below there's a variable. So for each and every person who's actually receiving the email, if I'm opening it up, it will be hello Leela. If this guy is opening up, it's like hello Ajay. The AI is there to actually, whenever they open the email, that's going triggering the server, and the image is generated instantly depending on the first name of the particular person, right? There's something called as an image personalization. If you remember, I just told you, right, I was doing this B2B prospecting for a SaaS client, and I got around 30% CTR and 80% open rate. This is what I did for them, right? So the subject line was first name, nice to meet you. And inside the subject line, I was like, hey, I just went to your LinkedIn profile, it's really impressive, I thought of reaching out to you directly. And then I have an image where where I'll be pointing to a whiteboard on which we have hello, and the first name is nothing but each person, whoever opens that, according to their first name, there'll be an image. So just imagine what is the impact of the other person opening it up. So the consumer or customer is not aware of this kind of technology. The moment I open it up, it's like, hey man, this guy made an image only for me, right? The effort actually puts out there. And when they click in that, I'll be redirecting them to a landing page or a small website where it is also optimized, right? Let's say I send it to Ajay, right? Ajay will get an email saying that, hi Ajay, and he'll be seeing an image, me holding a whiteboard marker, and in the whiteboard he'll be like, hello Ajay. And when they click on that, he'll go to a landing page saying that, thank you Ajay for clicking on the landing page. Here's a small video I made for you. And there'll be a small video embed where I'll be actually talking, and below the video embed, there's a currently booking link. Right. So just imagine the impact this will have, especially if you're targeting B2B marketing, that to founders and CEOs and these kind of people. Right. The moment they open, they'll be impressed, and again they click on a landing page. The landing page is also personalized, and then directly they can book a call over there as well. Right. Instead of just normally sending a normal four-liner or a lengthy email. Right. So these kind of personalizations are also available. So there's text personalization, there's image personalization, there are landing page personalization, and recently there are deep fake and AI fusion technologies. We can actually optimize their entire video saying that. So since I'm a member of International Growth Hacker community and everything else, I'll get access to these tools pretty early. So I'm actually testing out a few tools where the AI avatar will actually adopt to the naming and all the other details of the candidate. So instead of me recording a video, every time I send out an email, let's say to Ajay again, the AI avatar goes there and say, hi Ajay, how are you? I know you're from this company, and it will give you a customized thing for this guy. And if it's going to, let's say, someone else, it'll go to someone else. Right. So this is how you can use actually AI in terms of personalizing. And you don't have to go that far as well. Especially with OpenAI's GPT-3, which is an algorithm that can render English and other languages. There are personalized first liners. Right. Let's say you want to actually include a first liner or something, a personalized text for a prospect if you're doing B2B prospecting. So traditionally we actually hire VAs from Philippines or VAs from India, and they'll actually go through the LinkedIn profile and the website of a particular client, and they'll write a personalized text. But instead of that, we have AI now. You can just upload the CSV to the AI. In 10 minutes you'll get all the personalized lines for each and every one of each and every one of your prospects. So you can just plug that in your emails and directly send out emails. So without actually having a team, you can actually personalize the text, you can personalize an image, you can personalize a video on a landing page. And if you can combine all these things with your prospecting or with your customers as well. In terms of B2C e-com, right? E-com brands send a lot of emails, and let's say you want you to buy shoes. Instead of just sending, hey Ajay, just buy shoes, I'll just have Ajay's logo, Ajay's face, and say, hey Ajay on the image itself, and here's a special offer for you, and I'll give you a coupon code. That will be more personalized. And I don't want my developers or designers to do it for my 1 lakh customers or 100,000 customers. It's an AI that's doing that, right? So if you're interested in these tools, I'll be naming a couple of tools. You can write it down right now, right? There is Synthesia, which is an AI tool, AI video tool. There is NextView and Hyperize, which are image personalization tools. There are for first liners, there are too many tools in as of now on the internet. You can you can obviously get an idea of that. Quicklines is one of the startups like that, and you can actually do. You can pretty much you can actually Google and find other things. These are the things which I personally use.
These are really cool hacks that you shared. I totally love them. So do tell, like, if someone wants to generate cold leads by doing cold email marketing, what are the best ways? Because most of the time we are doing this, we are facing issues like our emails lands to promotions or even spam. So what are the steps that we can do, use, that will make sure that our emails are landing into like primary tab of the Gmail, and they are not landing in spam, and we should get good open rates. So what are the steps that you think that we can implement to get these things done?
It's a pretty vast topic, and it will get slightly technical for you guys, but bear with me, it's really easy to understand. The thing is that the moment you send an email to your customer, the customer's inbox and AI will actually analyze whether where should I place this email, in primary inbox, promotion inbox, updates, or spam folder, right? And what are the criteria it actually looks at? First, I already told you it's a number of links and a lot of HTML code and everything else. Apart from that, there are so many other things, because there's something called as email spoofing. Of course, this right now within 2 minutes I can send you an email from Elon Musk saying that you got 100,000 rupees lotteries, or 100,000 dinar lotteries. It's called as email spoofing, and that email will automatically go into spam. There are tools to do that. It's pretty simple, but it will go to spam. So the thing is that, let's say I send out an email from my leelashankar.com to Ajay, right? So his inbox will actually go and check what exactly is leelashankar.com. There are a few records or a few processes in place saying that DKIM, SPF, and DMARC. These are very three important technical aspects or technical records. It will take 2 minutes for you to set it up. You have to set it up on the domain on which you are sending out emails. So if I'm sending out emails from leelashankar.com, I have to make sure that I have this DKIM, SPF, and DMARC set up. So what does this do? DKIM is domain key authentication, SPF is sender reputation, and all this kind of stuff. So Ajay's email will actually go ahead and see whether Leela Shankar has proper DKIM, DMARC, and SPF records. So SPF record is a record where it will tell that Ajay's email that leelashankar.com is a proper domain with and the domain itself has sent out the email, and no one else has spoofing this email. DKIM will tell the emailing client, Ajay's emailing client, that it's a real email, it's not a fake email ID. So there are particular records where email provider will actually check, right? DKM, SPF, or DMARC records, and if these three records are really good, then it will say that okay, I can verify leelashankar.com domain has actually sent out this particular email. That is first domain operation. That is first level of verification. The second level of verification is what is the reputation of leelashankar.com. And again, it is called, all we have IP reputation, domain reputation, and all these kind of fancy words. But at the end of the day, reputation is reputation, right? It's a normal English word. So what is the reputation of leelashankar.com? That is my domain. Let's say I just spam blasted all of you or 1 lakh people and everyone marks my email as spam. Then that will reduce my domain reputation, right? In the same way, if I send a lot of spammy emails where a lot of people will delete my email to spam, report my email as spam, this is something called as an IP reputation. It's an IP address through which the email is sent out to your customers. So you have to actually think whether your domain reputation is good or IP reputation is good. You have to have your domain reputation in good state. Your IP reputation is also good state. And if you want to check, you can directly Google. You can go to this tool called MX Tools, or you can also have other tools where you actually check your domain reputation and IP reputation through which you're actually sending out emails. So what I would suggest is that if you're actually sending out emails for the first time, or if you want to change your email marketing directly, I suggest you to buy out domains which are similar to your company name. For me, it's Leela Shankar is my name. My primary domain is leelashankar.com, but I don't send emails from leelashankar.com. I will send emails from leelashankar.net, leelashankar.co, leela-shankar.com. I'll buy other domains to actually send out emails, because obviously I'm not saying that I'll be sending spam emails, but let's say 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road, if the IP reputation or domain reputation falls down, I can easily switch up that domain to something else. But if it's my own leelachandra.com domain, and if it goes down as a spam domain, or IP reputation or domain reputation goes down, let's say 5 years down the line, it will also affect my SEO and also affect my SEO and Google rankings and other search engine rankings as well. Right? Most people actually miss this point. They'll be using their primary domain for years and years, and suddenly they're like, my SEO ranking just went to second page, my ranking went to the third page. Because this will happen because Google knows everything. Right? Google is a search engine, it has a Gmail, it has YouTube, it has everything, right? And whatever Google does, other search engines follow, right? So that's the thing. So you have to actually you should not actually use your main domain. You have to buy your secondary or burner domains like .net, .co, whatever it is, and start emailing from that. And make sure whoever you're actually emailing, they don't mark your email as spam. And how to do that? I already told you SPM, SPIF, DKIM, and all these DMARC records. And apart from that, you have to make sure that email is relevant to the person. You have to avoid spammy words in your email. Remove all the excess HTML. Make sure to send it as a text email if you want. Right? Avoid a lot of hyperlinking. Avoid a lot of links that are going to the external domains. You can have links going to, let's say I'm sending out from leelashankar.com. I can have 3 to 4 links from leelashankar.com itself from the same domain. So avoid having a lot of links from your signatures and something like that. If you optimize all these things, then you actually increase the probability of your email landing in primary inbox. And for you to know whether your email is landing in primary inbox or not, there are tools like inbox placement, deliverability test, or inbox placement test. You can actually go out on Google and search like this tool called GMA's inbox placement test, where it will give you a set of 17 to 19 email addresses to which you can send your email that will go into send your customers. And there that tool will tell you where are your emails landing, whether it's spam or primary inbox or something like that. There are also other tools like lock apps and other and emailtester.com, which will do the same thing for you. And again, going to primary, going to spam is not a binary thing, right? For suppose Ajay got my email in spam, that doesn't mean 100,000 people who are in my list will get into spam. It's always a ratio. What is the ratio between primary inbox versus spam? Whether it's 10 is to 1 or 5 is to 5. 10 is to 1 means 10 emails are going to primary, 1 email is going to spam. 5 is to 5, 5 emails are going to primary, 5 emails are going to spam. So you have to have this ratio as low as possible, so that spam should be as low as possible. But that doesn't mean one person gets your email into spam, then that means every other person will also get into spam. It's always a ratio. You have to keep that ratio really less. Really less. And how do you know this? By doing this inbox placement and deliverability test. So I suggest you to do that every week. So generally in my agency, when I'm actually doing for my clients, I'll be doing it on every Monday. So just to know, and I'll be plotting a graph. What is the IP reputation, domain reputation, what is the spam to primary ratio, and I'll be doing it every Monday. So I actually know whether it's going up or going down or what to do and everything else.
I think questions.
And if you have any questions, you can actually ask. We have all the other topics as well, but yeah.
So there are a lot of IPS tools which are getting very smart day by day, and surprisingly 60% of the audience use Google Workspace across the globe as one of their main engine. And in Google there is primary updates and main inbox out there. And a lot of the companies, they are using the reputed tools and highly expensive tools like Pardot, which is there, or for that matter HubSpot. What is happening is, or for that matter GMAS as you mentioned, but the smart IPS is playing a very big role. Even though if we use these kind of tools, eventually within day or two those emails will start reaching to a spam or the updates or the promotions folder, because of the backend algorithms of IPS, which is the intrusion prevention system that is getting built at the backend. So my question is, do you think that sending manual emails is one of the best options compared to sending it in an automated manner? Because irrespective of, number one tool of, globe is Pardot, and even though if we are sending emails using Pardot or HubSpot, they are reaching to the updates, promotions or spam. And Gmail is very cautious about it, because the main reason is Gmail don't want to get spammed with a lot of the emails, because they want to see the relevant emails out there. So what is the technical solution over there, and do you think that AI is anyway in future going to overcome Google on top of it, because Google is massing the market? So what is the use of AI in this particular use case?
Yeah, it's
Right.
a very good question. So, to actually answer that, what you have to understand is that these tools, whether you send a manual email or automated email, at the end of the day, the receiving end doesn't know whether it's an manual email or an automated email, right? Ajay's inbox doesn't know whether it's an automated email or a manual email. It just got an email. So there's something called as an email warm-up feature, right? What is email warm-up? I'll tell you this with very basic example. Let's say I send out email to my 100th on list, right? And most of them, obviously 90% will be Gmails, right? So whether it's G Suite or Gmail, Google is the parent company behind it, right? So Google knows from leelashankar.com there are 1 lakh emails sent in, let's say, 10 minutes. Out of this 1 lakh emails, how many people actually opened it up? How many people replied to it? How many people marked it as spam? How many people deleted it? Depending on this user data, it will decide where to paste the email for the remaining people. So it all depends on the level of interaction on your emails. If you're just sending a normal email with where people are not even opening it up, let's say there's something called as an inbox history for each and every person, right? Ajay will have a separate inbox history, Harsha, you will have a separate inbox history, I will be having a separate inbox history, right? If I'm sending an email from leelashankar.com to Ajay where he never received my email in the past, then my filtering will be more, because my thing is a new domain for his inbox history. So let's say Ajay already knows my email ID. I've been emailing him since 1 year. If I send the same email to his inbox, since his inbox already has my emails and interacted with my emails previously, it will directly go to primary inbox. So to actually emulate this, this is what is called as email warm up. So you have to do email warm up where we have AI tools that will gain access to your emails and it will send emails to other people. Let's say there's a very famous email warm up tool called Lemlist or Lemwarm. Right, let's say there are 10,000 people in Lemwarm registered to warm up their emails. If I register my email in that particular tool, after I give the tool access to my email, that tool will send an email from my email address to some other user in that email address. And there, that tool will actually open the email, reply to that email back to my email, and now again the tool will actually, are you getting the point? It will actually interact with the emails of its own users. That is what is called as email warm up. And obviously, Google doesn't know whether it's automated replies or real replies. So if I start email warm up right now, generally the technical period for email warm up is at least 4 weeks, but you can also go around with 2 weeks. So if I sign up for an email warm up process with a new email ID, the tool will automatically send out emails, natural sounding NLP, natural sounding emails to other of its users, other emails, and there that tool will also reply back and mark my email as important, mark my email as not spam if my email goes to spam in their inboxes, and if their email are going to spam in my inboxes, it will go out and mark out important, not as spam, and all these things. So these kind of interactions will give Google an idea that this is a real user and this user's emails are important for the recipients of that particular email. So that is where it's called as email warm up, and we have these AI tools. So traditionally 5 to 6 years back we used to have email warm up agencies where we used to have 10 people with 100 email accounts, and they used to manually you know reply to other people, other clients, and they will open that client's email and they'll reply to this email, this kind of stuff. But right now everything is automated and we have AI that will actually generate text which is natural sounding. So it will actually be done, just by purchasing a $10 plan from a proper email warm-up tool.
I have one more solution for this, but it's not related to email. So what we do is like we download the whole list, we upload them on Facebook as a custom audience, and same on Google Ads, and we just show a video ad to them that hey, you subscribe to my list 2 years back by downloading X stuff, and now my emails are going into spam. Could you do a favor and just whitelist my email by clicking on this link? And then we send them to a double opt-in form where we ask them to like just subscribe to our list and consent to privacy policy. And if they are like our real buyers, or if they are really interested in our product, they will just do this. If they don't want to do this, let them go. Simple.
Yeah, actually that's pretty clever growth hack that we also use, right? If the email is really important, we'll actually send out an email blast. We'll wait for a week, and then for the people who actually didn't open the emails, right? We'll just create a custom audience, a lookalike audience in Facebook by uploading that. Do a branding campaign for a week, and then we'll send a follow up to the email that we actually sent earlier. Then we can actually expect better open rates, right? So there are particular hacks like that. And also before you actually send out emails, there's something called as an email verification or email validation. Not every email that you get is actual email, right? Let's say you're actually selling out your lead magnet, and most people will just abc@mail.com. It's not a real email ID, right? And if you try to send an email to this email, it will directly bounce, right? Because the email doesn't exist. So the more number of bounce you have, the bounce percentage also will impact your domain reputation and IP reputation and all these kind of things. So the more number of emails that you're sending and that are bouncing, Google will realize you bought it somewhere else, and it will restrict your emailing activity, and your email will go to spam. So there are tools like bulk email checker, zero bounce, or zero bounce, bulk email checker, never bounce. You can just directly upload your list of leads to that and regularly clean that list, because a lot of, especially in B2B, people jump companies, and the emails are really, they will be changing very frequently. And if you have normal B2C list as well, some emails are not responsive. Some people will create multiple email IDs and forgot their old email IDs and everything else. So for you to know whether the email ID is valid, inbox is there or not, there is something called as email validation, where you can use tools like clear out, never bounce, and zero bounce, bulk email checker. You can just upload your CSV. It will check and let you know whether it's a good email or not. And you can directly send emails to only the valid emails. That's where your bounce rate will be less. So ideally the bounce rate should be less than 5%, but I generally go to less than 2%. My bounce rate is less than 1 to 2%. That's how you have to actually go about it.
Great. Do you guys have any other questions? No, all good.
The audience?
Thank you.
I think you covered everything, guys. That was amazing. I know.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much to Ajay and Leela. Thank you so
1
much
minute.
for that.
Sorry. So for all the people over here, right, if you really want to know the exact email marketing framework that I use, and also my growth hacking strategies and everything else, I'm actually, just as a lead magnet and something else, I'm actually giving away a 7-hour growth hacking course, which I actually sell for $2,000. But for all you guys, since I'm coming over here and telling all these things, right, I would like all of you guys to use my growth hacks and grow your own businesses. So I'm actually giving away my 7-hour course, freely for all you guys. If you just want it, you can just hit me up. Thank you.
That's very kind. That's very nice. Awesome. Thank you so much, gentlemen. That's wonderful. So, talking of the future, it's nearly impossible not to talk about the digital changes that we're seeing currently, and it's moving at a rate of knots.